Good evening, everyone. So, I'm the son of God, and Donald Trump got played like a little pendejo. God used him to split the world into two schools of thought, those that represent the Christ and those that represent the Antichrist. Uh, do you know what Christ means? It's Greek. It means the anointed one. In Hebrew, it's Mashiach. So if you're the Antichrist, you're the opposite of Mashiach. You are the opposite of the anointed one. That means when you are threatening to go to nuclear war or have a nuclear-centered conflict, the covenant with many, the JCPOA, that's the nuclear deal that was instated in 2016, I want to say. Well, when your conflict is with Iran over that nuclear deal that was confirmed by Donald Trump, because you have to certify it every 90 days as the U.S. president, and then in the midst of the final year, how do I say this? In the midst of the final year of 70 years since the formation of Israel, Daniel's 70th week, 70 weeks. In that final year, on May 8th, 2018, 6 days before the 70th anniversary of Israel, Donald Trump pulled out of the Iran deal, like formally terminated it. In the midst of that week. Anyway, afterward, he moved the embassy to Jerusalem, desecrating the holy city. I believe the rioters, protesters, 57 of them were murdered by IDF during that inauguration, which Jared Kushner, the second beast of Revelation, was the one that spoke on his behalf that day on May 14th, 2018. Had these things not happened, I wouldn't be here. But because they did happen, and because while they were doing all that nonsense as the as Trump is the anti-anointed one, the actual anointed one solved the mystery of God. And as I sit and I watch the events unfold during the final hour, day, month, and year of 42 months worth of Donald Trump's presidency, and I watch the Iran-U.S. tensions start to flare up, I think to myself, God, you are a fucking genius. You played Donald like a fiddle. So, what does that mean? That means over this final hour, day, month, and a year, which began when the U.S. and Iranian militaries made first contact on June 19th, between then and next July 20th, 2020, exactly 42 months to the day of Donald Trump's presidency, of 42 months of Donald Trump's presidency, 1/3 of humanity will die. Now, how does 1/3 of humanity die? Well, the only way I could see it would be, a nuclear episode. And with nuclear, you don't get much of a heads up. All of a sudden, it's, lights out. And when you look at it from the point of view of Satan, which would be the entity that got Donald Trump into office, the fact that the man of sin, the man of lawlessness, the man who has broken the Ten Commandment law, time and time again by cheating on his whore wife, by, I think spewing 10,000 lies over the course of his presidency thus far. Declaring himself, inadvertently declaring himself to be God by knowing what's best for the world, by taking peace from the earth, by worshiping money, by paying off porn stars. See, God saw all that. And the Mashiach knows that not only does God see everything one does, God not only sees everything that I do, but he's reading every thought in my mind. See, Donald Trump doesn't realize that because he's the anti-anointed one, the anti-Messiah. He thinks that he can pull one over on God, that, he's not actually there. And that's the idea of Satan. And if you know the goal of Satan, then you can pretty much understand how this entire episode with Iran is going to play out. The goal of Satan is to end the world. To do so without anyone noticing until it's lights out. And that's why you need a Mashiach, the true anointed person. And all I'm here to tell you is the following. One, we're all alone in the universe. All eyes are on us on Earth. Aliens do not exist. 2, if you break any of the 10 commandments, you can get ill. Maybe a better way to say that is, if you know anyone's sick and they upload a full confession, making a permanent record, admitting any of the instances they've broken one of those 10 commandments, any illness they have goes away. I'll be proving that next Saturday. What else? Let's see. On July 20th of next year, we're going moneyless. And the meaning of life is to see the face of God, which no man has ever seen because it would kill you if you did. Until March 13th of last year, when I saw his face. And I'm not asking you to take my word for that, even though I recorded my entire journey. What I'm here to tell you is, he'll show you his face too. The meaning of life is to write your own book of the Bible. And if God finds it worthy, he'll show you his face, where your vision will pixelate, and you'll see God. Not some dude, not some actual face. Your vision pixelates. Jesus said you'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Twinkling means when your vision pixelates. That's God's stamp of approval on your story. No one will believe you when it happens. But if you send me all the footage that you record on your journey, where you begin with a full confession of any instance you've broken one of the 10 commandments, disregard anything financial, and chase coincidences around the world, God will line up a very cool story for you. And when he deems that to be acceptable or worthy of being part of the new sort of millennial testament, you'll have a shitload of footage. You send it to me, I'm going to package it up as a movie, and we're going to give it away to the world for free. So yeah, what else do you need to know? Oh yeah, he's monitoring everything that you're thinking right now. And if you go all in, disregard any sort of responsibilities you have, responsibilities to family, friends, country, religious organizations, schools, workplaces, any pre-existing constructs, because those have led us down a climate change related. What we're doing now just increases global temperatures and ushers in hell on earth. So you can disregard anything you've been doing to this point and just begin creating your own story of the Bible. And if he deems it worthy, he'll show you his face. You'll be changed forever. And then you'll be able to reign with me as we broker a global peace deal, enter a moneyless system. And let's see. Eventually, once every remaining person on earth has changed their paradigm to understand that God's monitoring every thought that they're having, and they begin to experience euphoria. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It doesn't matter anyway. So I'm going to finish my book this week. We'll have a miracle on camera next Saturday. I'll submit it on Sunday, or I'll upload it on Sunday. And then we'll see how many more miracles I can capture on camera while we usher in, that's it, the Messianic era. Messianic is the era of the Messiah, not the anti-Messiah. The anti-anointed one, but the anointed one. So there you go, guys. Oh yeah. And if you're wondering why you haven't seen the face of God yet, ask yourself, is your life biblical? And the answer is it's not. But that can change. And if you have a story worthy of him, he'll show you his face. You'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye. Oh yeah, and once we usher in the Messianic era, then we swallow death and you live forever. It's all one big simulation, guys. Have a nice night.